Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to turn this off. Hold on for 1 second. All right, we're waiting. Good morning. Welcome to Beyond Charts Morning Brew. This is Angel. We're getting ready for, let me turn this off. We're getting ready for CPI here. So, core price index for June. So, again, markets are reacting pretty positive to it. If I show you here what's going down, let me give you that. As you can see, right over here, this is over here. We're moving ahead of the market. It is now, we're rallying as I suspected. We are now 8:30. So the number is come out. So the market's being wonky again right before, up and down as you can tell. This is my quad, guys. So basically, this is what I utilize for trading the markets, either intraday trading. This is what my Patreon group does, and we utilize throughout the day. But unfortunately, CPI is coming out right now. So let me just hang still. Let's see. The overall DAX is down 1.3%, much hotter. All right, Dow's done about 127 points. Year over year, 9.1. I'm still here, guys. I'm just listening. All right, so let me put this on pause here for a second. We don't need to listen to this guy anymore. Okay, there we go. All right, so ultimately, guys, welcome to the Beyond Charts Morning Brew. This is the news we needed to cover. As you can tell, look, the numbers are the numbers. We kind of knew that we're going to come in hot. And now we're just seeing how the market's reacting to it. So basically, I suspected, I wrote this in the Patreon group, I suspected we're probably going to be selling off into this number. We expected a very volatile session. Unfortunately, if you don't have access to trade at this moment, which most people don't, but we suspected that the number was going to be hot. Okay, so it came in hot year over year. Nothing really. It came in at 1.3 versus 1.1. What do we expect? Oil's pretty high. I mean, oil has come down recently, but it's not enough, right? So again, we got to pay attention to what the CEOs, the companies coming out this morning. Look, we have to know what's on the horizon. We know that Google has basically said that they're expecting a slowdown. We have the CEO of Now, NOW, who's a super bullish guy. he's waiting. A lot of people are preparing themselves for what is to come, and we're expecting a slowdown, a pretty dramatic slowdown down the road. So ultimately, in the Patreon group, if you want help to navigate these rough markets, I write a newsletter, or my game plan. I write it about 5 days a week throughout the month. It's about 20 game plans. You have a game plan every day. If you're looking for a long-term investment, I write a game plan once a week. So that's 4 a month. And that's only a cost of $5, really inexpensive to help you prepare and navigate these markets. So actually, we called this bear market back in January. I actually did a video on it. You can go back and look around January, December, actually, and you can see that, we were calling this bear market. I actually sold out all my equities. So, all right, enough of that, but let's see what is going down at this moment of time. So right now, let me go into something else here. As we're noticing, we're selling off beautifully here off the 50-day moving average, 38.30, back down to 37.63. Key levels here are going to be 37.50 and possibly even 37.30. So we'll see how low this thing can go. Right now, this is my quad. I talked about this a little earlier, and we're just going to see. Again, I'm not really getting good reads here at this moment in time. So I'm going to move this over to another chart so I can get a better idea of what to expect. So I'm going to go in here, and then we're going to share screens here, and I'm going to move over to my center screen, and we're going to see what to go in here. So got that covered. All right, so we don't need to see me. Let's go into the full screen here, and we're going to stop with a top-down analysis, guys. So let's take a look here. So if you're a long-term investor, we always start here. We always start with the SPX, the NDX, and then the Russell, right? And we're always expecting here, and this is what I called yesterday, and especially through class at a Q&A session last night. We talked about the power of the candlesticks, right, and the 50-day moving average. That's my philosophy. This is the Beyond Charts method. And basically, I'm going to remove that. But we talked about this right now. We talked about how this was a demand zone right in here. And clearly, we can see that this is a demand zone. We see that the candlesticks are forming lower lows and lower highs. Right now, the E-minis is going to be 37.68. That's going to put me right in 37.78. So actually, we're going to open up a little lower. So in theory, we are going to form a lower low and lower highs in the daily candlesticks. And that's what I'm referring to. If the MACD's turn, it's probably going to come close. Ultimately, we see momentum going up a little higher here. So this is momentum. It is going higher. If we do get a bounce here, which I suspect we might get a bounce, I don't think that the, again, when everybody's bearish, I'm usually a contrarian. I'm thinking at some moment of time, 3750, 3700 will be bought. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm suspecting. And that also will coincide with the MACD being where it is. So anyway, don't know if that's true, but again, we're going to be ready and see a reaction. I'm not a crystal ball. I'm just looking at order flow and also looking at where, again, where the price action is. But the trade was, as I said yesterday, was probably 2 days ago. If you had a swing trading method, then that was it. We talked about that yesterday, and I'll cover that next week in the Patreon class that I offer once a week. All right, as far as the NASDAQ or the NQs, we're still probably going to work a little lower, and so is the Russell. Now, if you look at the moving average system, we don't have a squeeze yet in this area, so it's not really showing me a signs of reversal. The only one close to a squeeze would be the NASDAQ, but ultimately, I think we could probably retest 3750, which it looks like we're probably on our way. Now, I see some buyers coming in at 3760 at this moment of time, but we don't know. We still have about another... We still got about another, 40 minutes to the open. Okay, let's progress. As far as the VIX here is, we have the VIX here. The VIX is climbing up here as suspected. There's more fear entering into the marketplace as we suspected. This is why I stated yesterday that this is a good time to add puts because we were at the lower range of puts, right? Clearly, we start coming up here. This is where in the past the market has reversed right at the upper high, so we're at the lower range here. Okay, as far as the treasury note, it is going up because we are noticing that inflation is increasing, right? And when inflation increases, the dollar's getting stronger. There's a lot of things going on. I actually wrote in my Patreon group, I actually opened it up to the lower memberships because I wanted you guys to get a good analysis of what's really behind these markets. So if you want access to that, go to the link. It's on the bio, and you'll have access to yesterday's Patreon page, which I gave it an in-depth of what's really behind these markets. All right. Let's go into the E-minis and find out if we can see any opportunities here. So clearly we had a cliff jump right here on CPI numbers, where we're noticing right now in the short-term range that 37.59 is holding. Don't know, it probably looks like it can probably go a little lower, so I'm expecting 37.50, even 37.30. So somewhere in there to go down. Clearly, as we can see, this is a perfect opportunity to get into some puts. Ultimately, what I'm noticing here, the Asian markets, if we can go here, this probably didn't mean anything. That's why I didn't really show any levels, because the Asian markets kind of was waiting on CPI numbers. We had a supply demand zone, but clearly we broke right through that. So how low can we go is the next answer. And it looks like we're probably going to hit to those levels that I wrote on the weekly Patreon group at 3750, 3700. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if those areas get bought. But ultimately, at this moment of time, the selling is continuing and it's going to drop pretty significantly. Now, what I'm waiting for is it going to be bought? 3700, 3750. That's my suspicion. That's my kind of... I think that, as I stated, I think we were going to sell off into the CPI number and then we we're going to rally up. I don't know if it's true, but that's just looking at some order flow numbers. And again, that's not 100% real at this moment of time. But what we're looking at right now is basically, too far away from the 50. This thing has dropped dramatically. If I'm looking at this, we got a fresh at the MACDs right here. We're probably going to retest these areas right here, 37.45. If we break below that, you got 3700. So 37.40, 37.50, and then we have this one right here at 36.40, 36.50, 36.66. Can we have those type of days? Possibly. We'll find out shortly. If you're going to take a trade, I wouldn't chase this right now. I will go into a 2-minute time frame, let it pull up to the 50-day moving average and use the beyond charts method, and then probably get into some positions. But right now it's too far away. This is the reaction already. And if you just to show you what the reaction was, it's 38.32, dropped down to 37.60. So roughly we dropped about 70 points already. I think the Dow's down 325 points. Let it consolidate. Let it base. Don't chase it at this moment of time. Relax. There'll be other opportunities as you progress. Okay. If your inputs, great. I'll probably look to see at some moment maybe locking in some gains. If you're in some puts, maybe selling off some of your put positions, into the open. Let some runners go, and then adding some new ones. It's always good to lock in some profits. Okay. And again, scalping is not, if you want to make a living trading, scalping is good. I think that the biggest thing is what we teach in Beyond Charts is we teach you which way the wind is blowing, right? And kind of try to, don't overthink it, simplify it. But the main thing about scalping, if you want to scalp and you're okay with scalping $2, $3, $4, that's good, and just keep it at that, and that will build consistency. The problem is that you start looking at getting 10, 20 points, 30 points, which is good, but you're going for that home run. The challenge is that takes time to develop those skill sets, and as long as you're patient, but I don't want you to, sync your account during the process as you're learning this. And that's one of the things that I'm always cautious of, especially with Beyond Charts, because I know we don't want you to blow up your accounts. And if you're looking for those home runs, that's a good way, faster of blowing up your accounts. However, going slow, taking your time, looking at scalping positions, knowing exactly when to get in, when you start noticing the setup beautifully and scalping it. And you can make a nice living doing it that way, but it's not get rich quick, but it's, take time, learn. And a big component of your trading is going to be yourself. You have to find out who are you inside, right? Ultimately, don't overtrade, don't oversize your positions. But if you did well here, you got a nice ripper to the downside, and still going down. We still got about 8:43, another 45 minutes. Okay, so not really much here as far as the overall market. So look at our movies here. I'm probably going to rearrange this because Google's going to announce a split, I think Friday. Amazon not really moving much. These things, it's just over market. Tesla down, broke 700. That's huge. Apple about to break 140. If it breaks 140, then the markets can probably go a little lower. So let's see if 140 holds. And then CMG is going to go. So I'm probably going to rearrange this weekend because I'm going to put some movers on here and take away the ones that aren't moving. As far as oil's coming down $94, you know. So again, that's a plus. Oil needs to come down for CPI. But again, you know, how low is it gonna remain down here, right? So is it gonna reverse here at $93 and back up? We'll see. But oil being down is a plus. As far as Bitcoin, and I don't allow my Bitcoins. Hey guys, look, real simple. Bitcoin follows the S&P 500 clearly. If I do this, the S&P is down. Clearly, if I go here, the Bitcoin's down. This is on the weekly level. I don't trade Bitcoin, but more than likely, I think if Bitcoin is having a hard time above 20, it's probably going to hit 12.5 pretty soon. As far as MicroStrategy, it does have an earnings play. I don't suspect that if Bitcoin goes down, this is probably going to go lower. This thing, you know, like everything else, it just, and there goes Ethereum. All right. As far as a play here, and I kind of want to do something here. I want to go into UNH because we talked about this, but I don't like this setup right here. Let me see if I can indicator templates, momentum class. Let me see if I can make this a little bit better. I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to see if I can save indicator template. Let's see if I can save this one. And this is going to be, remember, intervals. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to green and white. Kind of like this a lot better. All right, hang with me, and we'll see if we can go here because my eyes are a little bit strained. And I'm going to see if I can do the green and white. And obviously it didn't work out, but much better. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here, and once again, let's look at UNH from a daily perspective here. I like UNH. We talked about this in the this week here. They are going to announce earnings here on July 15th. Usually during the recessionary times, healthcare stocks do well, and I'm seeing a lot of money flow going into healthcare. So once again, I think what I wrote here, let me see what I wrote here in the weekly plan. UNH reports on the 15th, which today is the 13th. They report earnings. I think it looks poised for a test of the recent highs of 540, 550. Now it's about 515. So I like the 530 calls. Again, this is just pure earnings play, and I think that more than likely is going to fill this gap here based on what I'm noticing here. So usually during recessionary times, UNH does healthcare stocks do better. So as we can see, this is one of the things that actually rally recently, you know. So if we look at all the stocks from 448 to 514, it can probably hit these highs here, 550, 540. And this is kind of what I'm looking at right here. So I'm looking at these targets right here. So I like the 530s going into earnings. And I think that it can probably hit somewhere in here. Again, don't get too greedy, but I do like this play right here. So probably going to be looking at that for a earnings play. Okay, what strategy you're going to implement, that's up to you. Again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell. This is just strictly for educational purposes, but that's what I'm looking to do pretty shortly. Okay, what else? All right, so let's look back to the E-minis, and then we're going to say adios. E-minis are still declining here. So what am I noticing here? Because a lot of people say, Angel, what do you see? What do you see? All right, so let's see. What I'm noticing right here is that this is probably going to squeeze here at some moment in time around the 37.50, as I suggested, maybe 37.40, 37.45. It's going to consolidate. And then what happens there? Do they take it back up? Right, there's a possibility. Right now, the market is processing. Obviously, it didn't like what it heard because we saw this drop. Okay, so that's out the way. It had a reaction. Now what? Okay, now it's processing. We know that buyers are coming at 37.52, like I stated. Now what? Okay, now we wait. What do? Well, if you follow the trading method, we're going to be looking at the weighted index, which is a leading indicator. It's one of the things that we use here beyond charts, and also we're going to wait for squeeze plays. on a 2-minute time frame. We're going to see for consolidation errors, and then we're going to react accordingly. Okay, so again, get ready. I think it's going to be a good day. And we're going to be looking at some plays here. Maybe, I don't know, probably go a lot closer in the money, looking at maybe the 3,900s. I think I wrote some plays here that I put out in the chat group, or I did one of the chat groups. I think we have the 39.30 calls, right? I think that's a pretty good for tomorrow. And then we have the 37.30 puts for tomorrow as well. So obviously the 37.30 puts are going to be paying. Looking to take it out of those, and then we'll probably be looking at possible for a way up. Okay, so we're going to be looking for consolidation periods, and right there, if you're interested in looking to see how we offer, if you're on YouTube at this moment of time, I do have some things here that I do offer. Let me see. Are you looking over here? So let's see. Oh, I'm over here. Stop screen. There we go. And we're gonna share. I'm gonna share this screen over here. So again, these are the weekly plays that we offer right in here. There's the UNH report, JPM, TSM, all indicators, and this was from this last week. Again, this is only $5. Again, once a week. If you want the other reports, we'll give you that too as well. If we're looking for some other information that you get it for free, you can go to Beyond Charts, where you guys are at right now, and I'll show you certain things that we actually do. If you're trading education, actually there's some videos here on our kind of trading method that we have there as well. So you just go there, and we have let me turn that off. It's not what I wanted to do, but I wanted to show you the playlist. Again, pretty cool, pretty in-depth. And if you want the weekly plan, we have multiple weekly plans here that you can do. And I do have some free stuff on Patreon. You do have to become a Patreon, which is free. And then if you want to subscribe to this, it's only $5 a month for. So the question to ask yourself, $5 a month, can you make $5 out of this news alert? I think you can, and then it's worth it. All right, guys, let's go out there. I'm going to go back over here into, we're noticing 37.52 coming in. As far as the, let me see if I can get some other stuff here. Not looking at that. Let me look over here. I'm going to be looking for, I'll set these up right now because I promised my crew that I was going to do this for them. Bookmark. And let's see. Okay. Let's see if I can give you the levels here for this. Today is 7/13. Is that right? Yep, 7/13. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can. Give this to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to have to go back to this earlier. But right now, we're seeing a nice little doji here in the 15-minute time frame, which is really, really powerful. Okay, I guess that got taken out. Okay, so we'll see what this happens here, what this projects. All right, guys, not really much to see here. Again, just looking eager for the open. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set these up to a 2-minute time frame so I can get ready to see where the moves are going to be. If you want access to this, I might make this, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Patreon, and I'll give you access to the videos to set up, how to set up your quad here so you can better understand that. All right, guys, that is it. That's all we got. Go out there, go get it. Let me see who's out there. Is that Josh? Yep, that's Josh. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Josh, you're looking pretty good on those puts. So, again, watch that 37.50. It's going to be a doozer, and let's see what happens here. All right, I'll see you guys in the chat. Take care, take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to get ready. Get your water. Get you ready. Stay hydrated. Do some push-ups. Do whatever to get you going. All right, let's get going. All right, go out there. Go get it. Stay frosty.